Today, we're going to tackle an English verb tense that, honestly, it can be a real game changer for sounding more natural. It's all about answering one very specific, very common question. I mean, really think about it. How do you talk about something that began way back when, but is still going on right this second? That's the big puzzle, right? And you know what? English has the perfect tool just for that. So here's our plan. A simple 5-step roadmap to get this down. We're going to find out its secret superpower, learn a super easy 3-part formula, see how to use it in the real world, figure out how it's different from its confusing cousin, and then the one big rule you absolutely can't forget. All right, first things first, what's this secret superpower all about? Let's dive into the main idea. Okay, if you remember one word, make it this one: duration. It's all about the time span. This tense isn't just about what happened, it's about how long it's been happening. It's kind of like a bridge, you know? It connects something that started in the past all the way to right now. So the mindset you want to get into is process, not completion. When you use this tense, you're basically putting a big spotlight on the activity itself, on the journey, not the destination. The big question it answers is always how long. Okay, so that's what it does. But how do we actually, build it? Well, the good news is it's just a simple 3-part recipe. And that's literally it. 3 little building blocks. First, you need have or has. That just depends on who you're talking about. Then, you always add been. And last, you just grab your main verb and stick ing on the end. Super simple. So let's see how this formula actually works. For I, you, or they, you'll use have been. For he, she, or it, it's has been. Easy. Need to make it negative? Just squish them together. Hasn't or haven't. And if you want to ask a question, you just flip the first 2 words around. It's really consistent, which is great. Awesome. So we've got the theory down, but where are you actually going to hear this stuff, and where can you use it yourself? Well, let's look at the 2 main situations where it pops up. Okay, this first one, this is the big one. This is for an action that started in the past and is still happening. And here's a huge tip. If you see the words for talking about a length of time or since talking about a starting point, that's a massive clue. It's basically a flashing sign telling you to use this tense. When you say I have been waiting, it means I'm still here and I'm still waiting. And this timeline here, it just makes it so clear. See, the action started way back in 2015. It kept going, and today, she's still there. The job isn't finished. That whole stretch of time is perfectly captured in one little phrase: she has been working. All right, on to our second main use case. Now this one's a little different. It's for an action that just finished, but you can see the evidence, the result all around you. So maybe the baking itself is over, but hey, the messy kitchen? That's the proof that's staring you in the face right now. Okay, just picture this. Your friend runs up to you and they're totally out of breath, huffing and puffing. You can see the result, right? So naturally, you'd ask something like, I have been running. And that is the perfect answer. See, the running literally just stopped. But being out of breath is the evidence in this very moment. The answer is all about the recent process that led to this very obvious result. And this leads us right into what is probably the trickiest part for most people. What's the difference between this tense and the present perfect simple? It actually all comes down to one simple thing. What do you want to focus on? The process or the result? Just look at this comparison side by side. If I say I have been reading that book, I'm telling you how I've been spending my time. It's all about the activity itself. The book's probably not done. But if I say I have read that book, bam, that's the result. The book is finished. It's complete. It's like one is the journey and the other is the destination. Right, so with the present perfect simple, the focus is 100% on the result. It's something you can count. 20 emails are done. It's a finished task. Check mark. But now compare that to this sentence. She has been writing emails all day. Do you see the shift? We have no idea how many emails she actually finished. Could be 5, could be 50. Who cares? It doesn't matter. The whole point is to describe the process, how she spent her time. It's all about the duration. Okay, we're almost there. You've got pretty much everything you need, but let's cover the final piece of the puzzle. This is the one big exception, the golden rule you have to remember if you want to avoid a really common mistake. So this all comes down to a special group of verbs called stative verbs. Now, these aren't your typical action words. They describe states, not actions, things like feelings or thoughts. I mean, you can't really watch someone in the middle of knowing something or owning a car, right? It's just a state they're in.
And here's the deal. You just can't use these stative verbs with an ing in the continuous form. It's a no-go. So even if you're talking about a long time, like for 5 years, you can't say, I have been knowing him. To a native speaker, it sounds really, really wrong.
So that's the golden rule right there. If your verb is a state verb, like know, own, love, understand, you have to switch back to the present perfect simple, even if you're talking about duration. No exceptions. Okay, so let's do a super quick recap. You're going to use the present perfect continuous for two things: actions that are still going on and actions that just finished but have a clear result now. The main focus? Always duration and process. And then number one rule, never ever use it with those stative verbs like know or own. And just like that, you've got it. You now have the complete toolkit for this really useful verb tense. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you know what to look for as you go about your day, listening to songs, watching shows, where have you been seeing it all along?